So this is the latest project I'm working on. It's a generic Json editor for C# games. I'm working on it for my own game and potentially future games because I like to use JSON for data, but I don't like to manually edit JSON files, and I don't like constantly having to update my editors whenever I make changes. So this editor and everything you see in it is actually generically generated from my C# data classes. It relies on annotations in the data class, and then it uses reflection to figure out the data classes, and it can also figure out other things in my source code, such as here, these values and these values are loaded from an enum in C#. This one is actually a name of a class, and it can also look for method names and stuff like this. So the latest feature I have been adding to this editor is actually a map editor. This is everything here is driven by the JSON data. Even the buttons on the side is generated based on JSON data. It contains multiple layers, or in Godot it would be tile maps. So you can see the red, green, and blue squares here, and the characters plus the tile content itself. So if you have a look here, this here is the tile type. So right now it says the grass. I can set the desert, and it will change. And in addition here, we have some other stuff. This is all from my JSON class. I can set that I want to have a dungeon here, which is the pyramid icon, very visible on the desert. So let's set an event. And then I could check, okay, I want a red square and a green square. This is only for testing, of course, and you will see that the squares appear here. I can even copy this, paste it around as I want. These sub-editors here, these editors that pop up, are the same editors that I use here. And if I go here, click edit, it takes a while because it has to generate this editor, and Godot is a bit slow when creating controls, but after you have generated it, it's instant the next time. And here you can see I can, for instance, click edit here, and it will open this editor. It takes a while because it's a big one. And if I click outside, I go back to the last editor I was in. And yeah, this is everything is data driven. So let's have a look at data class. We can start with this map class here. So if you look here, this is my map data class. It contains an annotation that says that it's a map data class. The map data class takes in a few arguments. Here you can see it takes in a folder where you can find the tile maps, which you can see is this images editor tile map here on the left. And then a folder for the overlay, which is here. Then it takes in a class and a method name. So in this class, to get the icon that it should use here, it will call this method. It will pass in the map data, which is this data in this array here. To pass that in, it will expect a string in return, which will be the name of the file to use from that folder. And in this case, I have this tile type property that I just do to lowercase. And if you look at the tile type here, we can see that this is a enum. So the controls were based on this enum. So if we go back in the editor, we click something. Okay, this is a bug. There we go. Here you can see tile type. It has these things, and there's no null allowed here. So back again here. Tile type. It's based on this enum. It should have no nulls, and it should be a sub-editor using this image. And if we once again look back, you can see this is the family tree image. Whatever, I just took some random images, and it creates this button for us so that we can open it. And the same goes here for this event info. It says it's a sub-editor, and this is a custom class, which means that every property inside it that's tagged as a JSON property will end up appearing in this editor. As you can see here, this is also an enum, but this one allowed nulls. So you can see this is the tile content enum. And now if we have a look at the overlay icon method here, you can see it also gets a map data, but it expects a list of strings, which is just a list of overlays to put on, and it will put it in the order that the last one in the list is on top. So you can see I do the same. I take the tile content, if it exists, and I just take the name of the file that has the same line. And in addition, I check for these red, green, and blue square, and I pass an image back. And then the editor actually generates this tile map for us from this. And I can save this stuff, and now that I saved, I can go back in here, and we can finally have a look at the JSON. This is the map, test map, and you can see this is the JSON written by the editor. Most of it is just grass. Here you can see there's a boss with red and blue square, and so on. Any property that is the default is not written, so here you can see this is on x0, so x is actually not written here. And then yeah, you can see file content monster, etc, etc. And yeah, the same goes for my character classes and everything. This is all generated by my editor. So actually, to create new data classes, or to create new entries in my editor here on the left, all I need to do is add new data classes. So here we have the JSON definition for my other data classes with lots of properties. So I can actually configure my editor entirely from my C# code, which is very, very nice. I don't know when I will be releasing this thing. I'm not quite ready with it yet. It still needs a lot of bug fixing and some cleaning up and so on. But some point in the future I will be releasing it.